Now, Lord, you have been seen and reached. Hereafter you will not be deluded again. Salutations to you. It's possible you can become deluded again, but by this kind of contemplation which Prahlada is undertaking, that delusion is less likely to arise again. Lord, how is it that the self, which is the very light of the eyes, and which fills the whole body as the innate intelligence, is not seen or experienced? How is it that that intelligence, which functioning as the sense of touch and experiencing all other objects, is itself not realized? How can that intelligence be distant from oneself, which, as the intelligence in the sense of hearing, hears and produces goose pimples? Goose pimples from the intelligence in the sense of hearing. Perhaps the author is referring to the effect of music. Music can produce the phenomenon of goose pimples. It seems strange to mention goose pimples, but I suppose if you think about it, it is quite a strange phenomenon. From a purely notional thing like listening to a piece of music, your flesh can actually produce these little bumps all over in an instant. Quite a remarkable phenomenon, isn't it? You can call it an interesting example of mind over matter, or you could show it as an example of the non-difference between the two. So there's something going on, isn't there, when we have this goose pimple phenomenon? Perhaps the scientists can come up with an explanation. But it is a remarkable thing. Even when you take a cup of tea, you have your first sip. Let's just say you've been doing the shopping all afternoon, you come in, you make yourself a nice cup of tea, you take one sip, and what's the feeling? All over. Just that one sip from the cup of tea has an instant effect. Your whole physical, your whole psychophysical being gets transformed with that one sip of tea in an instant. So I think there is, whatever the scientific explanation, we can understand it as some sort of intelligence at work. The same intelligence that sorts our breathing out, sorts our digestion out. We don't understand it all, but it's going on. It's been taken care of. It's been taken care of for us, hasn't it? So there's some intelligence operating there. And how do we not? Why do we not acknowledge it? This is the bizarre thing. This is what Prahlada's contemplating. How is it that one does not taste the sweetness of that intelligence, which experience the sweetness or otherwise of the objects placed before it? How is it that one does not directly experience the presence of the intelligence which enjoys the sense of smell? How is it that the self, whose glory is sung by the scriptures, and who is knowledge or wisdom itself, forgets itself? O self, now that you have been realized, the sense pleasures that I revelled in before are no longer worthy of my attention. These are all rhetorical questions that Prahlada is asking. They're questions expressed in bemusement that we overlook what is doing the experiencing. We experience all this, we get caught up in it, but we overlook what's doing the experiencing. And this experiencing is the great miracle of our being, of our essential being.